Game for 15, talking sports. Back at it with another video for you guys. Back to talk another sports related video, and it's in regards to my team. Yes, my favorite basketball team, the Los Angeles Clippers. How you wonder why I'm a Clippers fan? I don't know, but there's that. Anyways, I'm making this a day late after the Clippers lost in Game 7 of the first round of the playoffs, which ended their season as they lost to the Denver Nuggets in 7 games, where in Game 7 they just had an abysmal performance. Just an abysmal performance. Like, nothing else needs to be said about how terrible that performance was. The game started off good. We had a good quarter, first quarter. We came out, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is what I'm talking about. Starting off fast, starting off with urgency. We made a change in the starting lineup. We weren't starting Chris Dunn. We started Derrick Jones Jr. I'm okay with that. Okay, fine. And we started really dang good off in that first quarter. And then the second quarter happened. And that's basically all she wrote. Basically, that's it. Legitimately, the Clippers won the first quarter, and they were practically done the rest of the way. Denver basically went on a massive run, and the game was getting to the point verge of a blowout. And then, realistically, in the third quarter, Denver just went on a freaking, I think, 17-0 run, and they basically were up like 20 plus points. And by then, the game was over. I'm over here watching, so I work with a minor league baseball team, right? They have the game on the TV set within the stadium. When I watched the first few minutes of the third quarter, when Denver goes on that damn run, I literally turned away and walked away, and I'm just like, yeah, this game's fucking over. And the Clippers go out sad, sorry, and embarrassing fashion. James Harden didn't beat the Game 7 allegations. He completely no-showed and sucked. Nobody really did much of anything. I guess Kawhi was probably, from what people said, he probably played the best out of every Clipper. But then if I'm hearing that apparently Kobe Brown, who's basically a bench guy, had more energy and was playing with more fight and hustle than any of the Clipper starters did, well then that's just embarrassing. How's a guy that's just basically been on the bench all the time and get kind of got spot minutes here and there throughout the season, but really not a rotation guy. He's given energy, he's fighting back. But that was basically it. And honestly, I was disgusted. I was disgusted with the performance. I was just disgusted because, again, this playoff series showed me why I stopped watching in the first place. And what I mean by that is this. Way back when I believe it was like February something, we played the Phoenix Suns, I believe the final time of the season in Phoenix. We were up big. We were blowing the Phoenix Suns out. Mind you, this is the same Suns team with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. And they did not make the playoffs. They didn't even make the play-in. They missed the play-in entirely. And we couldn't beat the Suns. We didn't get one game against the Suns all year. We were up big in that game, and we blew that game away. And from that point on, I legitimately thought the season was over because I'm like, how do you come back? How do you lose that? I legitimately thought we were gonna freaking lose going forward, and we were gonna miss the playoffs. We're gonna miss the play-in, and I'm like, this is what happens. This is the collapse. We're just not gonna make it entirely, right? And legitimately, I told myself, I'm done. I'm not subjecting myself to this mediocrity. I'm not subjecting myself to this bullshit that I continuously got with this era of all this stupid shit bundled into one. I'm thinking they're going to take care of business for once. They're going to do what they're doing, and yet they still have the same damn habits they've been having since we first started this damn era off. And I told myself I'm not watching another fucking game this year. And I even said fuck it. I'm not even going to, even if they find a way to make the playoffs, I'm not going to watch one fucking game. Clippers, in my not watch along, went on a damn winning streak of epic proportions. They got themselves into great seeding as a whole. I think they were like fighting for a third top three seed, but they had a chance to go for the four seed. And then in a critical game against the OKC Thunder, they lost that game, which then dropped them down back to the play-in, and basically they had to win out the rest of their way to be even to be able to make the playoffs and not get into the play-in. And they sure as hell did that by beating the Golden State Warriors in OT in the last game of the season. And that locked them up the fifth seed to play against the damn Denver Nuggets. I watched the end of that OT against the Warriors, and I'm like, you know what? All right, fine. I'll give them a shot. Prove me wrong. Prove me that you can go out there and beat the team that you basically choke job to in the bubble. And especially with the fact that when you looked at Denver, the Denver Nuggets at the time, they were going through their own disarray. They fired Mike Malone and they hired David Adelman as their interim head coach because of all this drama regarding the Westbrook situation. Because both Mace, you can essentially say the reason why Mike Malone got fired was strict, and then their GM too got fired was because of the Minnesota Timberwolves loss they suffered, and that was a team in the Denver Nuggets that was reeling. They were not what they once were. And this coach comes in, only probably has about a few regular season games under his belt, and he's basically thrust in the playoffs. Like they fired Mike Malone legitimately, I believe, a week before the playoffs even started. And I'm looking and going into this series, I'm like, okay, with all the disarray that's going on in Denver, I'm not saying this is going to be an easy series win, but this should be a series win. You should beat the Denver Nuggets because you have the better personnel. You have legitimately, they have no bench. It's just their starters, and then whatever's left on their bench, they have no bench. And on top of it, I'm thinking you can't lose to a coach that's going to be coaching as the head coach in his first playoffs, first playoffs. And yet the Clippers did that. They did do that. They did lose to a Denver Nuggets team that they should have beat, that they were definitely better than, and they definitely lost to a coach that got the job within a week before the playoffs started. The Clippers should have won this series in a fucking sweep. Now, first things first, congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. They did what they needed to do. They took advantage of the Clippers' mishaps and they seized every single moment they had a chance to win games in this series. And that's what they did. They did what they were supposed to do. They did what they were they're capable of doing, beating us. Because they're just a mentally better team and they've been in situations with backs against the wall before. Those guys in the starting rotation are starters were champions for a reason. But when you look at back at this series, the Clippers altogether should have won this series in a sweep or maybe even five set slays or say 6 games. This series should have never went seven. And realistically, if we're being honest, this series would have been over, long gone over. The this series would have been ended up in the sweep. The reasons why we lost this series holds in game one, game four, and then game five. Let's talk about game one. Now, again, with all these games, I'm not going to go in fucking depth. I'm just going to cut to the chase and explain to the reason, in my opinion, why they freaking lost. Game one, Clippers had a 15-point lead. They were basically handling Denver in game one. And I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Thank God. They're actually coming out with seriousness plays. James Harden is playing a great playoff game one. I'm just like, this is phenomenal. Only person who sucked was Kawhi. And maybe a few other players like Norman Powell who wasn't doing shit. But they had a 50-point lead. I'm like, okay, we should win this game. That's great momentum going into the series. Proving a point to Denver. We're not going to back down to you because you're not going to be our kryptonite in the playoffs this time. And then the Clippers blow that 15-point lead like as if it was a freaking rewind back to the 2020 bubble where you got out to a double-digit lead and you consequently blew it. That's how you lost game one. A very critical game that you could have got early on in the series. They win game two. Mind you, they win game two just barely. Like, legitimately. Denver had two opportunities to hit a game tying three, and they missed it. Thank God, but they just barely won. Game three, I ended up actually pre-buying tickets to go to game three. $45. Probably the best $45 I freaking spent in my life. Because the atmosphere in game three at Intuit Dome was, as my friend, my boy, Jay Lon said, was a legendary moment. Would always say is it was a legendary moment. It was a legendary moment. Being in that building for the first playoff game in Intuit Dome, I was there the first night the stadium opened to the public. Well, regular season wise. And I showed up for the first playoff game. And honestly, coming off of when I attended the playoff game, which was the second to last playoff game, game two against Dallas in Staples. Thank God that they blew Denver out, and it was just again a legendary experience to be in. Probably a top 10 moment in my life of going to a sporting event, and that was that game three against at Intuit. We blow these dudes out, right? So, um, after game three. I met up with my boy Dime Dropper. Dime Dropper plug. Go subscribe to his channel. Great content creator, especially great Clippers content creator. Also subscribe to the Locked On Clippers page. Just want to plug up my boy. Especially with the shit that he went on through this course of this year for him. Just go support the guy. Good dude. I said on his post-game recap that he likes to have outside of Intuit Dome on his vlogs. You know, I said as much as I said I love the game three win, I said Clippers got to come out ready to go for game four because you already know Denver's going to be ready to bring it. Because I'm of the Clipper part of Twitter where I'm more pessimistic. Any slight thing that they do wrong, I'm going to critique them for it. Because me as the fan, with these top ownership thinking that they are going to contend, I have to raise my expectations and be like, okay, then prove it to me you're a fucking contender. I said in that post game basically recap or that post game interview that I said Clippers better be prepared because you know Denver's going to be ready to go. We blew them out. I fully expect Denver to be ready to go for game four. And that's what they were. They were ready. The Clippers weren't. They got out to a slow start and they didn't lead for a good chunk of the game. And then the Clippers did what the Clippers typically like to do, aka called the fake comeback. The Clippers love to do the fake comeback shit all the time. And the Clippers ended up actually coming back and taking the lead. And you just needed to get maybe one more possession to ice this game, and you steal a game from game four, and you probably shatter Denver's confidence out of the roof, even going back to Denver. On top of it, you're going up 3-1 in the series, and you have complete momentum. Because even if you do lose game five, you're going back to Intuit Dome, and I don't believe they will lose that game because 100% Intuit Dome is Right now, what we see, a tough place to play for playoff basketball. You just needed one more good possession, one more good shot make, and then you can blow and basically ice the game. And you somehow find a way to win a game you probably should have lost, and you shatter Denver's confidence. And they're already thinking, yeah, probably over, guys. It was a good season. They were already ready to pack their bags up to go to Cancun if you win that damn game, but you didn't. Kawhi, for whatever reason, took an ill-advised three-pointer that he missed. Denver goes down the court, ties the game. We don't get a game. Eventually we don't even get a chance. I think we chug up something that just it didn't go. And then you have the final possession of game 4 where defense is being played. Tie in a tie ball game. They double Jokic. And then out of fucking nowhere, Aaron Gordon comes in, dunks the ball in out of nowhere, and wins the game for the Denver Nuggets. And in my opinion, that was the turning point of the series. That's your typical heartbreak, crushing Clippers loss that more than likely does it in for them. And I saw that shit, and I'm just like, you cannot be kidding me. What's even more egregious is the fact that you had James Harden and effing Norman Powell out there in a defensive possession, along with Bogan Bogdanovic. I don't know why Tyronn Lue didn't decide to go with a more defensive unit on a possession, just a one possession thing. If Jokic had just made the shot and did that weird, he just throws it up and it goes in, fine. All right, whatever. But the fact that you basically lost that way because one, you didn't put in a more defensive lineup to box anybody out, like a box and Aaron Gordon from coming in out of nowhere and dunking on you. On top of it, you have basically a three-guard lineup out there. You have two of your worst defenders under the rim in James Harden and Norman Powell, and they don't even box out their individual, and that's it. You get blown out in game 5 like it was not even a contest. Game 6, you come back to extend the series. You have a good performance there. Harden had his probably, we don't know, maybe his last good performance as a Clipper and into it. And then you completely shit the bread in game 7 after a good start. That's basically it. And you look at this series and you're just like, the Clippers should have won this in a sweep. You win game 1 if you don't blow the freaking 15-point lead in Denver. If things play out in game 2, you're up 2-0 going back to into it. Same thing happens in game 3, you blow out Denver, boom. And in game 4, if you had a more defensive lineup, you prevent Aaron Gordon from getting a dunk. You're going to OT with a Denver Nuggets team that was fucking gassed. In game 4, they were gassed. I believe they would have won that game if they went to overtime, the Clippers. And then guess what? You would have won the game in a sweep. And you would have overcame your fucking demons by the Denver Nuggets showing that fucking bubble shit was an absolute fucking fluke. But no, it wasn't. And this is why when they lost, they lost. I saw a bunch of Clipper fans over my TL basically finally wise up and finally admit to the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been saying this since 2023. The 2023 season. That terrible season that all Clipper fans want to forget. I said it then. You can look up the tweets. I think I even made a YouTube video about it. I said the Clippers should blow it up. Start the rebuild. Trade Kawhi, Trade Paul George, get rid of any veteran assets, start the rebuild. It's time. It just didn't work out. Yet the Clippers decided to run this shit back 2 more years. And guess what? Look what it fucking got them. The same exact shit. First round exits. Actually, next 3 years after that season. You lost in the first round to fucking Phoenix. No, actually, no, my bad. Next 2 years. Phoenix was 2023. You lost to Phoenix that year in the playoffs. Eliminated from the first round. You then turn it around, lose to fucking Dallas, and then you lose to Denver Nuggets. And I'm sorry. This is some bullshit. I'm sick and tired of this. I said it before and I'll say it again. They should have started the rebuild back in 2023. I don't give a shit if they were 2 years out from into it at that point in time. I don't care. They should have started the rebuild because you would have still had a first round pick that you didn't need to trade for Harden. You could have got whatever capital for Kawhi and Paul George at that time. Maybe you get another first round pick there. But no, they didn't. They decided to stupidly run it back because they thought we just need healthy fucking Kawhi. Well, guess what? You got healthy Kawhi. You got healthy Kawhi in this series. He played all 7 games. And you want to know what? It didn't amount to nothing. You still got the same exact result that you got the past 4, 5, 6 years. Eliminated in the playoffs, not getting the NBA Finals. But if you want to look at the last 2 years, guess what? Or the last 3, 4 years, Clippers always use the excuse, well, Kawhi wasn't healthy. Well, he was healthy this time, so there is no excuses. I'm done. I don't care if the Clippers won 50 games. That's fucking great. Cool. Cool story. We won 50 games in the regular season that outprojected the projected total of around 30 or lesser wins. That's fantastic. Congratulations. Let's give everybody on the team participation trophies for getting the team to 50 wins. We totally showed people that they were wrong. 50 wins. That's great. Well, I don't give a shit about 50 wins. I want a fucking championship that I was promised from this era. That's what I want. I want a team that's actually serious. I want a team that's serious from the front office to the coaching staff to the players down below. No, I don't give a crap about a 50-win season. That's great. Fine. If there's going to be some Cooper fans who are going to prop their heads up and be like, yeah, we got 50 wins this season. We showed people. I don't care. 50 wins my ass. What the hell did the 50 wins do? I don't see no damn Larry O'Brien trophy. I see another first round exit. This time with Kawhi healthy. So 50 wins can kiss my ass. I'm sick and tired of this crap. I'm sick and tired of this BS that we keep getting fed. Some Clipper fans may not give a crap and they may just say, well, look, we got a great owner. We're not back what we used to be. I don't care. I'm ready to win a damn championship. Are y'all ready to be serious and actually freaking critique this team and ask the questions? Why are they not champions yet? Why haven't they gotten there yet outside of the unluck factor? Some players sucked in this series. I'm not gonna go into all of them, but they sucked in this series. Coaching was fucking atrocious. I don't give a shit. You can say, well, Ty coached a good game three. He coached a good game this, good game that. I don't give a crap what anybody says. And if you want to refute my point, go ahead. I don't care. Ty Lue got outcoached by David Adelman. And that's fucking embarrassing. And this also shows me that Ty Lue is not the great elite coach that everybody says. Because the idiot, the clown, the stupidity of that head coach got outcoached by a guy that got the job a week ago before the playoffs started. I've had issues with Ty Lue. I've wanted his ass fired for years. If the Clippers don't move off on Ty Lue after this season, I'm fucking done. I can't take this team fucking seriously. Because this idiot does not know what he's doing. I'm not an X's and O's guys when it comes to basketball. But when I watch the tape, when I watch the film, when I watch the games, shit don't look right. And from a coaching perspective, he looks like a coach that does not hold accountability. For example, Norman Powell was stinking it up in this fucking series. He should have given him the sacrifice talk. And what I mean for NBA fans, what I mean by sacrifice talk, the past few years, he would always tell players, I need you to sacrifice for me. And he'd cut their minutes. Didn't do that with Norm. Norm's second half of the season was god awful. And Norm, I added to the list of Clipper role players that got a bigger head because of shit they did in the first half of a season or one full season, thinking that they were bigger than what they thought they were. So he can be added on with the grouping of Montrezl Harrell, Reggie Jackson, and Marcus Morris. All three role players that thought they were the shit, but in reality, they weren't. They just did a good job in holding the fort down till the main dudes got back. And when the main dudes got back, their ego took a hit because, well, we got to get our points too. We're a special part of this team too. No, you're just a role player. Know your role, shut your mouth up, and do what you're told. Norman Powell did the shit of his ego got too fucking big. And because of it, he fucking sucked. Did Ty Lue do anything about it? No, the hell he didn't. Another issue I had with Ty Lue in this series is lack of adjustments. I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap if you want to come up and tell me, well, Canfrey 15, give me a lack of adjustments. Please give me the X's and O's, Canfrey 15. Please give me why do you believe he got out coached? I'm not going to do this shit. I already told you, I don't know the X's and O's in basketball. I'm more of a football guy than a basketball guy. Again, I watch the film. I watch the tape. I watch the game. And with my own eyes, I'm seeing where the coach is getting out coached on all fucking fronts. Plain and simple. David Adelman's group is outside of game 3 came prepared to play games. Ty Lue didn't. Outside of only games he had his team prepared to play was game 1 up until you blew that game 3, and then game 6. Outside of that, he didn't have his team prepared to play whatsoever. Oh, and game 2. Yeah, I think I mentioned game 2. So in games 4, 5, and 7, he didn't have his team prepared to play. In game 4, he didn't tell the team clearly, hey, this is a really big game. We get this game here in Intuit Dome at home. We start off really hot and really fast and get the crowd into this game. We can win this game and we can go up 3-1. Game 5, he didn't have the team prepared to play. Plain and simple. You want to know why? Because we got blown off the court from jump. Didn't to let these guys know how important game 5 is. Because if we go back through up 3-2 back to Intuit Dome, you can look to close it out there. And then in game 7, he didn't have the players prepared to go on from second quarter on. No urgency was made from the coaching staff. Another issue that I have with Ty Lue in this series is in terms of lack of adjustments, lineup. It's plain and simple. Starting a 3-guard lineup against a pretty big lineup against Denver, who's starting Christian Braun, Jamal Murray, Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., and Aaron Gordon. The only small guy on that freaking team is Jamal Murray. Everybody else is a big, long dude. And he elected for basically 6 games and 1/2 of running a 3-guard lineup. And then in the second half of game 6, he realized if I start Batum, shit starts to work. I don't know why he didn't decide to start that lineup sooner in the series. My only thing is, I chalk it up to if he did that in like a game 2 or a game 3, he was afraid that Adelman would find an adjustment to counter it. And then Ty Lue, because he's a dumbass, doesn't know anything about adjustments, and he couldn't make an adjustment to that. That this guy is known through the national media as the greatest playoff coach ever and a king of adjustments. The man has no adjustments. His fear is adjustments, and this idiot waits too damn long to do the exact right thing. And it cost the Clippers yet again. Because he's afraid to make a simple lineup change. And it takes you till game 7 to make an actual starting lineup change from the beginning of the dang game. 7 games. That loser got outcoached. David Adelman didn't need to change anything up. He didn't do anything realistically. He let Ty Lue fuck up and overthink himself. Ty Lue got outcoached by a freaking doofus that nobody's ever heard of, that I haven't even heard of. Just a random dude. And I don't know what David Adelman did in the past, but to me, a random nobody that just got gifted the job because the head coach got fired and he got freaking outcoached by this dude. Outcoached. Not even a contest. David Adelman had this dude running in circles all series long. And Ty Lue didn't want to make a single adjustment till it was he needs to be fired. I'm done with this moniker of elite coach / whatever. I don't care if he goes to the Phoenix Suns. I don't care if he goes to the Lakers. I don't care where he goes. Get him off my team. There's a reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers fired him the year after LeBron left. Because he's nothing special. He lives off that one championship that LeBron willed the Cavs to. AK also got help by Kyrie hitting a very clutch shot against the Golden State Warriors in Game 7. And on top of it, because of LeBron's antics, got Draymond Green freaking kicked out of the one of the games in an NBA Finals. But I'm seeing Michael Porter Jr. break freaking rules, and he's not getting suspended. But we'll suspend Draymond Green for kicking unintentionally LeBron James in the NBA Finals in the ball sack. I don't give a crap. Ty Lue's a garbage head coach. He don't run no offensive sets. His offense is literally this. Chuck him up threes. And you look at game 7. Kawhi chucks up a 3, makes it. He chucks up the next 3, misses it. Batum chucks up a 3, misses it. That's all he's got to go to. His only 2 offensive things is chuck up 3-point shots or small ball. And then 3-guard or 4-guard lineups. That's it. He ain't got nothing special. When you expose those three things, He's cooked. The loser is a loser, and Ty Lue is a loser, and he's a fucking terrible head coach. He should be fired. First thing on Monday morning, fired. But the dumbass Clippers are not going to fire him. Already a report came out that the Clippers really value Ty Lue, and they think he's a solution. Well, then that leads me to the next man, and that's Lawrence Frank. Lawrence Frank needs to lose his job too, just as much as Ty Lue. And I don't know what Lawrence Frank is going to do going into next year. But he needs to be fired too. Because he's the reason why we're in this predicament of where we got no picks. Because he kept trading them away like they were candy from a freaking candy store. Thinking that he was the Los Angeles Rams. F them picks. F them picks. Rams just got a first round pick for the first time in years. And that was this past NFL draft. This loser, he can't draft right. He doesn't analyze talent right. He doesn't even trade for certain players correctly. I'm done with this clown. Lawrence Frank has no clue what he's doing. He's been long lived his excellence in Los Angeles, and he should be fired. Otherwise, if he stays, I don't know what the hell he's going to do. But he better sure as well, if you're going to bring back Ty, he better Ty-proof this shit. Get him a lot of wings, no fucking guards. Give him 2 guards or 4 guards. 2 point guards, 2 shooting guards. The rest are wing defenders and wing players. And you have to massively Ty-proof this roster. That's another guy that needs to go. He needs to get out of here. He's a loser. Just as much as Ty Lue. He's a loser. Trading away picks like they're nothing. Getting this arrogance like these players are going to show up. No, they don't. They didn't. Not addressing the backup center position that hasn't been addressed for years and caving to that damn Paul George for wanting to go get freaking John Wall instead of re-signing Isaiah Hartenstein with a mid-level exception. And we've had a backup big problem for years, and he still hasn't figured that out. We're running freaking small ball with a freaking power forward running backup center minutes. When you traded for Harden, you gave away all your wing players just to get one dude. You caved to PG to go get Russell Westbrook. Never would have been in this situation if not for this fool. And this leads me to where do I think the Clippers need to go? Now, my closest Clipper dudes, they know how pessimistic I come when it comes to this team. And it's plain and simple. I believe the Clippers should blow it up and they should start the rebuild. I don't give a shit about, well, Cam 315, we ain't got no picks, so you got to run it back. You sound like a complete moron. That's the only thing we can do. Well, guess what? What I say to those people are this. They're fucking morons. Yes, I said it. They're fucking morons. Those are Clipper fans that are afraid of going back to the goddamn dark ages. Who cares? We suck anyways, and we suck now. And you want to live off a 50-win season? Well, go get your participation freaking trophies. You can go get something like this, and it can say, instead of a football here, a basketball, and it can be like, Clippers participation trophy, 50-win season for the 2025 Los Angeles Clippers. That's a participation trophy you can have for winning 50 games. I don't care about 50 games. I care about a dang championship. Be serious now. This team with Kawhi ain't going nowhere, and we just saw fully healthy Kawhi Leonard basically play good. Not great outside of game two, good. And we still can't get past the first round with this dude. It's time to make changes, and the change starts with a freaking rebuild. I don't care if we ain't got no picks. I'd rather watch a garbage product on the court knowing it's going to be terrible. Going to be terrible. Okay, that's fine. I have no expectations then. I'm just going to enjoy it until I know we can build something. That's how I feel about my Angels. Yes, I'm an Angels fan. Yes, I'm an Angels fan. I have no expectations for those losers. And those losers suck right now. Mike Trout, again, injured. He Kawhi Leonard 2.0, probably on steroids, because the thing with Mike Trout is he gets to frickin' the month of April, and by the time we get into May, gone. Season done. And with the Angels, I had no expectations because you want to know why? They suck, and they're the only difference between the Angels and the Clippers is while the Clippers have great ownership, the Angels have the complete opposite, and they have terrible ownership under Artie Moreno. But that doesn't stop me from not giving a crap anymore about that team. So when I watch the game, I expect what I want to expect, and I'm just like, you know what? Who cares? I know we're not going to do anything, and that's how I would treat a Clippers team that's rebuilding with basically nothing. You get to see your young players actually play and maybe develop, hopefully under a good damn coach. But fine, regardless, here's my thoughts. And I was listening to Adam Oslin's Clipper Talk after dark, and I think he said it best. I think he said maybe outside of Zubac, nobody on this roster currently constructed is untouchable. Zubac might only be the only untouchable guy on your roster today. Mind you, the same Ivica Zubac, who the last two playoff series he's been in Dallas and the freaking Denver series, he's been phenomenal. Arguably your best player. This is the same Zubac that would always be played off the court in playoff games when he first got here. And now you arguably can say he's the most consistent Clipper as of late in our playoff stretches. And it's like what Adam Oslin said best. Outside of maybe Zoo, everybody on this roster is not untouchable. Kawhi Leonard is not untouchable. James Harden, if he opts into his deal or opts out and re-signs with the Clippers again, is not untouchable. Derrick Jones Jr. is not untouchable. Nick Batum is not untouchable. Norman Powell is not untouchable. Bogdan Bogdanovic is not untouchable. Need I go on? Nobody's untouchable. They all have a case of why they might need to be traded or just you let them walk for nothing. Because now you need to transition into a new era of Clippers basketball where you need to set up your future now. You need to start the pieces instead of your future. You got your answer to the truth about Kawhi Leonard being healthy for a playoff run. And that means for still first round exit, right? Well, guess what? It's time to kill it. It's time to end. Time to change everything. This is what I would do if I was Steve Ballmer. This is my last point. I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to go watch Thunderbolts. You fire Lawrence Frank, get a new president of basketball operations. I probably immediately go to ESPN and I basically buy and give the world to Bob Myers. You then fire Ty Lue, get a new head coach of Bob Myers' choosing. And then you basically get rid of Kawhi Leonard. You trade him for whatever you can. I don't care. If Harden opts out, you let him walk for nothing. If he's going to go pursue money, let him walk. Also, I forgot to mention Weak shit by James Harden for not addressing the media after any of the past three losses against Denver, especially Game 7. Pathetic shit. Face the music. Face the fire. Yes, you dropped 7 points. Face it and say you were just not good enough tonight. I would respect James Harden a lot more if he did that shit. And by him pulling weak shit like that, it makes me regret getting that one City Edition jersey from last year, the navy dark blue Clips jersey. That makes me want to throw that in a fucking bin and just throw it in the trash because the doofus did not want to face the music. He could have just came into the music and said, "I didn't play good enough. I apologize to Clipper Nation for what I did. I did not put out a performance that was good." If he opts out, you let him walk. Go get money somewhere else. He'll get his last bag somewhere. Or if he opts in, you trade him too. You definitely trade Norman Powell away. And I'm starting to wonder they probably should have traded him at the deadline when he was at his highest. You could have got a lot of resources for him, but they didn't. I would have traded Norman. Looking back at it now, hindsight is 2020. You trade Norman Powell at the deadline at his highest, and you get the most out of from him. Probably get a nice player and maybe a pick or two away. We got fucking 3 picks for Bogan Bogdanovic for trading him, or Bogan Bogdanovic and 3 second-round picks. Just trading Terrence Mann away. Someone will be desperate enough to take either Kawhi or Harden if they feel like that's the piece we need to get over the top. And then as for other players, I don't know. Maybe you do Nicholas Batum and be like, "Hey man, we're gonna still not be good, but maybe you want to stick around and you retire as a Clipper. You're more than welcome to do that. We don't want to do you dirty again." Derrick Jones Jr., maybe you trade him, get some nice solid pieces. Somebody could use his service or his presence. Solid wing player. Chris Dunn. I don't know if you would keep him around. Maybe not. Maybe you trade him. Had a good defensive season. Maybe you trade Bogan Bogdanovic. I think he's on an expiring contract. But I did. You accumulate picks and you go in a new direction. Plain and simple. I don't think the Clippers are going to match the win total they did this year. We'll see what they do next year. They'll probably run it back stupidly, and I'm not going to like it. So that means I'm not going to give a shit. And if they do that, I won't care as a fan. I'll treat them like how I treat the Angels. I just won't give a shit. I'll still go out to games. I'll still watch, but I just won't give a crap, and my energy from this team will be zapped. I said it before and I'll say it again. In my opinion, the worst era of Clippers basketball is this Kawhi era. Strictly because we were promised a championship and we did not receive one. I'm done. So the Clippers and Steve Ballmer want to keep running it back with Kawhi and James Harden again. That's fine. You're content with mediocrity and you're content with first round exits. Go in a fucking direction that's different for once. And maybe you do what you did in 2018 and the 2019 season. You realize Lob City ran its course. You get rid of you get rid of Chris Paul, you get rid of DeAndre Jordan, you even did the unthinkable in trading away Blake Griffin. And it was all to get to this point. I think Ballmer needs to realize it's time to move on. Kawhi just wasn't a good return on your investment. You already started the process with letting Paul George walk. Time to get rid of Kawhi too. I think Kawhi will go down as a top 10 Clipper of all time in the history, but he'll also be known as one of the more known Clippers that's always was a what if commodity. What if Kawhi Leonard was healthy his entire Clippers tenure? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm just done with the Clippers. It's not that they mentally break me. It's just I get so fucking exhausted with this team. And when I think they're gonna turn a corner and be serious for once, they never are. And this Kawhi Leonard era of Clippers basketball, as a fan, has just made me detest the team more than like the team. And I shouldn't be feeling this way, but I actually detest the team because of this era. This era actually makes me hate the team more than love them. And that's how much I feel right now. I just want to get back and fall in love with the Clippers again. I don't want to hate them. I want to fall in love with them again. But this Kawhi Leonard era shit has zapped my love for this team. I'm gonna get out of here so I can go watch Thunderbolts. I heard it's pretty damn good Marvel movie. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Clippers content. Maybe I'll do some Clippers off-season videos. I don't know. Because this team is just taking the love out I have for me. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy them because the shit and the bullshit they feed me. I'm done with this shit. We're probably gonna run it back again. It's been the same exact shit. I hope we make some necessary changes. And it starts with up top, and I hope it starts with the coaching staff too. Till then, guys, I'll be back. I gotta find time in my schedule. I think this upcoming Tuesday, as of recording this video on May the 4th, Sunday, do a first round NFL draft recap with my Uncle Daryl. If you want to get my thoughts on the picks in the draft from these teams, you'll get my you'll get our thoughts, our honest thoughts. You can get my thoughts on the Bears first round picks or the Bears draft picks for this course of this year. I believe that's up on the channel. And yeah, I guess wrestling content, WWE stuff. Still got to post my WWE WrestleMania review. I know even though it's a few weeks out late and Backlash is coming up, but that's it. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Anyways, I'm gonna go over, guys. Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day. And I guess the Clipper Nation, keep the fucking faith. If there was only one thing that I could freaking say that I absolutely loved and I continue to love about the Clippers is legitimately um, the broadcast team. I think one of the sideline reporters, Lauren Rosen, she made a tweet of a video talking about how emotional she got when it came to getting the job, I guess, to be the Clippers sideline reporter. I reposted it, responded, because she said, felt sentimental, might delete later. Love you, Clipper, hashtag Clipper Nation. I literally replied to say, no, don't delete this. Literally said, my thoughts on the Clippers on the court is 100% different how I feel about the fucking broadcast team. I think we got, along with the best stadium in the league, I think I 100% believe we got the best broadcast team in the league. I like Brian Seaman. I like Jim Jackson or Mike Fratello when he has to fill in. I like Christina Pink, and I became a fan of Lauren Rosen. Plain and simple. So I don't know if she will see this video at all. If there's Clipper fans that say that want to say that or see this, send it to her. Send this clip out to her. I appreciate for what she did. It was great. Looking forward to seeing her and the rest of the broadcast team work out for next year. That's the one thing that as a passionate Clipper fan I can say. I enjoy the broadcast team. Broadcast team makes shit better. Makes this god awful team that I fell love out of make it worth it because I like listening to their voice and I like listening to the damn analysis, and mostly because they're fucking real. So I give props that she felt sentimental. She actually took this seriously because I'd rather have a sideline reporter or anybody in the broadcast team actually give a shit about the team, not half-ass this shit and just say, "Well, I'm working for the Clippers and it's a good job." No, her making that statement and her saying that damn near working for the Clippers brought her to damn fucking tears. That's fucking great because that tells me broadcast team loves their jobs and they love working for the Clippers and they're just as passionate as us members of the fans and they want to see the fans get what they rightfully deserve. And that's a championship at the end of the road. So if you want to clip this, send it to her. I don't care. Do it. Let her see this. Send all the positive thoughts, and that's what most people sent on her tweet. My fucking tweet got 689 views, 16 likes. And she even responded back with a prayer and heart emoji. Respect. Respect. Looking forward to hearing the broadcast team next year, even if we decide to stupidly run it back, but that's my thing. So maybe one of these days, maybe I'll go up to Lauren Rosen if I get a chance to one day and be like, hey, I was that person that said, hey, don't delete your sentimental tweet. I really appreciate what the work that you do. So that's why I'm going to go there and everything. And I even say, like, look, the on the court product stuff, I'm not a fan of. I honestly disagree with what the direction they're going. But in terms of the broadcast team, if you want to let Brian Seaman, Christina Pink, or even Jim Jackson, Mike Fratello know, hey, I love what you guys do. And you guys actually make at least watching the team a lot more bearable for me, even though I don't like the direction that they go in. So that's just my take. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go watch Thunderbolts. And I will go enjoy the rest of my weekend before I have to wake up early in the morning for work again. Anyways, catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day. Or you're not, or whenever you're checking this video. Till then, guys, I'll see you guys next year for more stupid Clippers basketball. Peace.